from the bottom G and also the artist Brian Michael Hintz.
Yeah.
There are basically two personas coexisting, but as we had a conversation before, you said it was difficult, or it is at the moment difficult to also tell your audience, hey, I'm one time the bottom G that does like the content, which is like funny, you know, and also sassy, and you know, doing the dances,
The zesty shit.
the sassy shit, and then also Brian Michael Hintz, the artist. So really fulfilling your dream, walking towards your dream, and saying, okay, I also want to be a successful artist, and
Period.
you know, live also from my music.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The question.
No, continue.
It's complementary. It's like bottom G is part of my artistry. It's like part of it. So it's not like it's not like I see it as two. It is separate in a sense because bottom G does the shit I could never. Because when I think about Brian Michael Hintz, I overthink way more. Like I wouldn't post these dance videos. I used to be a show dancer, so this dancing is not good. I'm not happy with it, you know? I would never post it when I think out of my show dancer artist side. So bottom G is more fun. And I guess fun connects better with people than some curated, overthinking type of person.
Me.
Yeah, it connects better because it's like, and that's why I think a lot of people create personas in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of artists do that as well. I think like Beyonce on stage is I'm not comparing myself to Beyonce, okay? But there's a lot of people creating personas which help them to do whatever. I think she talked about that she's shy, Beyonce, I guess.
Yeah.
I think she talked about it. And her on stage thing, what is it, Sasha? Sasha something is her stage name. It's even like a new persona which comes over her before she goes on stage. Because Beyonce is shy. And it's a similar thing because actually the zesty shit I'm doing is fucked up.
Why?
In a sense that a guy looking like a security guy from Shein, who's not working hard enough at the moment, doing this type of moves is some statement because immediately guys who are more in this type of working out kind of world, which I'm representing pure visually, like a very, how do you say, conventional type of guy, very basic actually.
Yeah.
The dancing on top of it makes it, in this sense, I would say that's the whole concept of a conventional guy doing very unconventional things. So it puts me in a weird
situation.
Yeah, like a very unique situation because I'm like, it's not like that I marketed myself so much into that, let's say, the whole rainbow LGBTQ market that much, which means that would be the easier thing for me to do, I would say. But I felt, for example, going with the heels and all this stuff, which I felt I would have to do in order to be more exciting in that space, would feel inauthentic. So I'm not doing it. Because a lot of people came my way and said, like, just put on heels now. You did the stuff to take bottom G to the next level and wear heels and stuff. But I'm like, that wouldn't feel authentic.
Yeah,
you know?
I get what you mean. I really get what you mean. So,
and I don't want to, yes, sir.
Yeah, so being authentic to yourself is the most important at the end when it comes to your art as an artist, creating music.
Being a person, at the same time though, you know what a lot of, especially artists get wrong, I think, it doesn't feel authentic. Shit, like the thing is, as we evolve, shit I do now, which feels authentic right now, was fucking the most inauthentic, weird ass shit. I remember being at the Moulin Rouge in 2018 and we needed to do some more zesty choreography. I refused to do it. It was too gay for me. Look at me now.
Yeah, I mean, it was also, I mean, how did you get to the bottom G? Like, who was Brian Michael Hintz before social media? Like, before you blew up? You know, who was he?
Oh, that's nice. I don't know. Same guy. Like, I just tried to do the content. I was like, basically homeless in fucking Barcelona and trying to blow up. It worked. But you know what? I realized by now, I put myself on purpose in a bad situation. Like I don't have a zweite Shotplan, a second.
Yes,
what
like
is
a
it?
chance plan B, basically.
Yeah, there was no plan B and that's what you see I think in a lot of people who are I don't want to say top G. at the G's at the end, you know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
go one way.
Pretty high up, yeah.
There's no plan B about a lot of things. There's like, I want to be a fucking, I don't know, successful music artist, whatever they want to be. And that's the only solution. There's no like, yeah, but maybe I become like a marketing executive, whatever,
Like a
chef,
backup
whatever.
plan.
There's no backup plan, exactly. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you say, for example, you being in Barcelona, homeless, just thinking about this, how was this experience for you going through the motion and knowing like, yo, I'm actually like at the bottom right now? Like I
It's
feel,
funny, yeah.
you know, like how did you mentally get through this? Because
I don't know.
you know, because this is also, I think, a really interesting perspective or viewpoint, or maybe also a mindset that you need to create to continue. Because you could say, okay, I'm in Barcelona, I go home, I go back to my mom, and then, you know, I'll just find a regular job and start working. You know, that's what most people would do. Like you say, plan B, which you didn't. You say, no, I will stick to this. But how did you go through the process of, okay, because you had bad days, and then, you know, what gave you this kind of fuel to continue creating content? Because you didn't make much money of it to live of it and pay rent and all of this stuff. You know?
No, I had no flat.
Yeah, you had literally, you know, literally like you said, you didn't have anything. So how did you or if you could think about something, what gave you some kind of spark?
I think I said it before, like the idea, I think, the idea I have in my brain of myself, that idea and knowing otherwise I will never be happy.
Okay.
Knowing everything else, I did the jobs, I'm happy with my show dance career. It's like a nice show dance career with the World Dance Sport Federation. I was a World Dance Sport Federation athlete for like a few years with Latin dancing. Then I did the show dancing with Moulin Rouge. Then I was a singer for this big hotel. I feel I did the things you could do as a artist 9 to 5, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then the next step is to be your own brand, your own stuff, you know? So, everything else is no option. Like, even thinking about it, sometimes I think about it every few weeks. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But then there's no way back. I'm too deep. Now I'm anyways too deep in. Now it's too big. Like, even I work with a strategist. I remember she saying, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not doing it. She's like, we're too far in this shit. It's too far. Imagine you don't know. Imagine how, if I just keep going, what bottom G or whatever this, you never know how big it can be. And why just stop right now, which is good, because now even worse, I will the rest of my life, I don't know to what extent how big Andrew will get, but if I stop now, I'm gonna be some gay Andrew. That's the only thing people know me as mainly. Of course, I have my core bottom G fans, Brian McLean's fans, but the overall perception will be like, oh, Andrew Tate, that's the guy who did Andrew Tate, but I'm of course more. You get my point?
I feel
I'm talking like very chaotic.
No, I get your point, and I can follow, because my mind works similarly.
Perfect.
And no, I totally get that. So basically you said, okay, if I don't walk this path, it will chase me forever, and I will always have regret.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you said it. Like, I think when I'm gonna be old, I will think about it. I was like, whatever happened, I know I tried. You know, I tried the LA shit, you know, like all these old school ideas I had of approaching it and like making it, I did it. Because even though, you know how fucked up LA for me was?
Yeah.
Even though this shit happened, I'm happy I did it, because I would think right now, sitting here, what if I would have gone to LA in my peak at bottom G? I went, so I knew what could have happened, because it happened. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean, because if you wouldn't have taken the chance, LA, for example, best example, King Batch, Tonio Skits, is it Skits? Yeah. He was working with these guys. For me, for example, I've been a fan, for example, for King Batch like years.
Damn.
When Vine came out and you made the video with him, I was like, wow. He literally made like a YouTuber that I really like, because King Batch made super funny reels and he's known. And then you could pop up out of Germany and make, like content with him. So that's pretty cool.
Crazy,
but you have to think about it. You were sitting down with like a YouTuber that also has connections to the whole like acting atmosphere. Like he knows like
all entertainment,
they're all in the entertainment, they're all connected.
Everything.
So he has like connections to these people, and you had the chance also to create with this kind of creator, and you also caught his attention, you know, to that he wanted to work with you, because I mean he's big, but then it also, as you said, you're going viral, and also your reach was crazy. You know, I don't know, like, you know, how it is right now, how the reach is.
I just blew up with what is that song? Why did you ghost me? You said with that crazy girl, Love Bomber Baby. Love Bomber Baby, you took my heart. You know that one? This is crazy, but it's going viral like crazy, but on Instagram Reels. It's insane. It's like 500,000 likes already. It's crazy.
Okay, crazy. Okay.
Likes, not views. Wait, it's like 6 point something by now, but it's growing.
Yeah, still, I mean, you know, I'm still trying to create content and trying to get like 5K views, you know.
It's fine. No, I think it's wrong. Like, no. This is one thing I always done. Like, I never thought about like making the 20K views. I always thought about like what can like blow up.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. Like nothing. But I said that before. Yeah. Nothing happened. But then when shit happens, it kind of goes big, because I think in my brain think big. It's like with everything. The way you see your body, the way it's the same thing with the fitness thing. Some people would be like, I don't know, half of you people would be happy with maybe some. No, for sure, you know, same thing.
Understands. Okay, so now another challenge, because I cannot remember all these questions.
It's fine.
But anyway, it's personal, professional. So that was the thing. I think I asked you, what challenges did you face switching between music? Yes. What challenges do you face from switching with the content from bottom G to music content? Because you're trying to also promote your music, obviously, over your channel. What are challenges you see with this?
The only challenge I actually see is that people listen to my music without knowing that it's my music they're fucking with. Which means like I make those videos and people like the sound, the music I make in those videos, but because I just make dope ass content to it, and the content is actually so good that the fucking music even don't matter that much, but people on the side still fuck with the music. Sorry, it's a horrible language. They still like the music.
It's raw. Don't forget about this. Just pick up the pen. It's fine.
True. They still deal with the music, but they don't know. And then sometimes after like months, they're like, "Oh fuck, you sing? Can we talk about us?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Okay, that's crazy. So basically, people, they listen to your music
without knowing. They follow me because of a video where I dance to my own song for months, not knowing that I'm singing that song. So that's kind of my struggle, but that's a very lovely position to be in. That's like, because when I tell them after, they already have a connection to the song, and it's fine. The moment now I go, what I'm doing right now, a little bit more musician vibe, they get, oh, that's him too, and then they feel, and then it's like an immediate connection, because they deal with it and like the content already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's actually a nice position to be in, because I used to be a little bit like, shit, my life's so hard, I make millions of views and my music is playing in there, but people don't know that I'm singing it. But then it's like, yeah, but people like the music, they like the content, so it's like, it's like a very nice position to be in.
It's basically it's a nice combination. You get two flies with one hit, basically.
True. Like but you know what I realized by now? Everything, each problem on the world, there's two sides to it. Yeah. Like a fucking coin, because it's like, it's dope. At the same time, it's like an inner blockage, I realized, because I present myself more as a comedian who does music. And I think I spoke about it before as well. And I'm not happy with that role. I'm not a comedian who makes music. I'm a musician who's funny. And that's the perception where I struggle with myself. And that's why, I mean, it starts in your brain with how you see yourself. And it's like, oh, I blow up with the funny videos. Yeah, I guess I'm the funny guy. But no, when you check out my old stuff, you see I started like a proper music artist approach. Then I was like, it gets me nowhere, the old school approach.
Yeah.
So I changed the concept, and I reach now a lot of people and have a fan base, so it's amazing, but I still need to twist and tweak until it works the way I want it to, and the perception works. But I feel it's actually already better. I feel more people know Brian, like my close fan base is way better, because I do stuff like that, talk, because also language connects. I think like the dancing reaches a lot of audience because it's these 10-second clips.
Yeah.
but it doesn't connect. Like you don't care if you know who I am necessarily, but when I get the chance to talk, people usually like it. They usually like it because I'm a little interesting, actually.
Okay, I understand. Now, also to you being an influencer and not really always having a base, how do you maintain fitness and health? Because it's always also been a part, especially as an artist. It's also important, for example, aesthetically to look good. You know, your
Oh, that's funny.
push your limits, for example. The
Those
cover,
body positive artists, they would love that statement.
you know,
They would
so
hate it, actually. No, it's funny. No, but you're right. You're right. Like, of course, like maybe I have an old school idea in my brain, but yeah, of course, if you want to sing and dance, I'm a dancer. Of course, you need to like at least take care a little bit of it. For me, I have a little struggle with my body fat percentage because I don't know. Through my work as a show dancer, I always had the routine. So now it's hard for me to have a routine just by myself because if you have like trainings and workshops and shit like that multiple times a week, and now I'm like. Anywhere I go in the world, I search for a gym though. So that's kind of a routine in my brain I take anywhere. Okay, anywhere I go, I try to like. There's always a gym where I can kind of go. Like even here right now, randomly Berlin. You know, always have a gym. So the routine. What was
routine? Yeah. So basically, how do you maintain your routine? Because you also always have you always put an eye on. You know, staying in shape and you know, not, you know, getting overweight, for example, because you say, okay, hey, I'm an artist, and also this is where, or which a lot of artists also do not have. For example, you can dance, you can sing, and you can perform. You know, like dancing is also performing, but I think you can also, you know, move a crowd. And also for this, if you step up on a stage, how would you feel more comfortable if you're...
Yes, but this is what I realized. You know, I sometimes think, you know what? I sometimes think this is fucked up. I'm not big enough to be a music artist, which is funny because what has your muscle mass to do with fucking your music career? It's funny, like, and I think in a lot of guys, there's this idea of when I'm big, I'm finally this motherfucker, this end level and final destination type of guy.
Yeah.
But in reality, is like, and then I look at Ed Sheeran, Louis Capaldi, they don't go to the gym. Like, they just make dope music, great singers, great songwriters, and that's in the first place what it's about. Of course, now the music stuff is all different. Just depends on the type of guy you are. I think I don't know. I'm this performer guy, so it makes sense in my case, but there's people, I don't know.
I understand.
Adele used to be a big girl. It worked. It kind of worked a little bit, but it's just singing and the voice, you know. So that's why I'm also not too judgy with a lot of people would say like I'm fat phobic, but I'm not. There's a lot of, I appreciate songwriters who have more, or like, you know, a lot of people are bigger, because I know a lot of guys, especially judge guys who are like, hey, you fat, you don't have your life under control. There's crazy successful people who are fat.
Yeah. That is, you know, that in itself is, for example, not an issue.
The issue is
when
there's a fat phobia coming up. No, I'm joking.
But I know what you mean. Obviously, yeah. Today, when you speak, and you know, our society today, they would immediately say, okay, it's a stamp. He doesn't like fat people, but that would basically be pretty twisted, because obviously I'm a health coach and I work with clients, and my clients come to me because they have the problem of being overweight. And why do you come to me when you have a problem? Because people see it as a problem, not because, you know, you're looking a certain way that's an issue and you should be basically removed from the group. No, it is, how do you feel about yourself? And
True.
That's the most important part, and that's what I always emphasize in the coaching and tell clients, also my friends, that say, hey man, you know, I don't feel comfortable. Just one client finished with me and we lost almost 30 kilos.
Wow.
I think 11 to 12 months. And he wrote me messages like, hey, I don't know since when, and it started now is, I think, 4 or 5 or 4, I don't know. But he said, it's the first time since my daughter is born that I could play with her on like, how do you call those, you know, those pumped up castles where you can jump on Hüpfburg.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said it's the first time I was allowed because before I had too much weight and I wasn't allowed to go there.
Wow.
You know, and he said, now I feel more comfortable taking off my shirt, I have more energy. He also had his first debut in handball, playing in the Bundesliga. So that's basically in Germany like pretty high, you know, or it is the highest you can play. And he got also nominated for the team to, even though he had only a few minutes of play, he never imagined him in his age, now 37, getting a chance to, you know, play and just be there and have, you know, time on the field. And for him that was like massive because he always was dreaming of getting there and now he made it. And this is what a lot of people, I think, miss out on. They just see the number on the scale and that's it. And that's how they define their whole body. I'm just a number on the scale, but they don't measure or track their sleep, their nutrition, their training, their recovery, their minds. Those are way more important, basically, metrics you should track and not just, okay, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm fat. That's shit.
So, what do you think about this body positivity movement?
The body positivity movement.
Like, there's a very big person now saying, hey, you know what? I'm fat and it's beautiful and I feel good. I'm gonna go to McDonald's 7 days a week. I'm gonna get a Big Mac. What do you think about that?
Well, I am a big fan of letting people do what they feel like doing. The problem is when you start when you start complaining about you not feeling good and not really, you know.
No, they don't say they don't. That's not. They feel good. They say they feel good.
That's why I say. The problem then comes when they complain. If they don't complain, go for it. 400, 600, 700 pounds. Go for it.
And what about? Did you see that girl who was in the plane complaining about the seats not being big enough because she would need to? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, at the end, if she needs 2 seats, and that's her size, she will need to pay for it.
But she thinks they should make the seats bigger.
Yeah, you know.
What do you think about that?
Well, it is.
Are you pro making the seats bigger in planes for bigger people?
Am I pro? I would say that is, you have to think about it. Okay, first off, it's a plane. Now, what is the plane intended to be?
Yeah.
You have to think, that's a business. So will the business benefit? You have to think of this because at the end, who will make the decision? The people with the money. And the people with the money will say, listen, I will not make bigger places because at the end, if it's 1 seat, you lose basically another person that would pay for this flight. Who's going to pay for that? Nobody's going to pay for that. You're basically going to make a minus business unless she want to fly private and she has the money to pay for it. Then she can do that.
Oh,
but I think for like
she get that back though.
Yeah, but for economics, it probably will be difficult if she flies first class.
It's difficult to execute, but what about the people promoting it? Like, there's people promoting this idea. Are you pro or con?
Promoting for bigger seats.
Like way bigger.
Yeah, way bigger.
Like 3.
I believe, or if I stand for it, going for the question, I think that's difficult, but I believe, from a business perspective, definitely no. I mean, they can
The business, but your perspective.
My perspective, I would say no.
Okay, good.
No, I would say no, because I mean, at the end, you know, because a lot of people, what they do at the end of the day is they do not take accountability for the situation. Now, and this is something I need to highlight, there are certain diseases or medical conditions where it's difficult. And for example, if there's an exception for those kind of people that really have this medical issue, I would say yes. But if we're being honest, not every single person, because there are more and more people suddenly saying, I have this and this and this issue. I don't believe it. The rate doesn't go high, it doesn't go that extreme like the stock market. It doesn't go up that like everyone has, issues with their hormones and one of a sudden everybody says that now, But there's there are really people that struggle from this, that don't speak about it and say, hey, I'm trying to work this out. And they don't use this as an excuse. They still try to pay attention to this, And that's where I say, okay, because just saying yes or no is kind of like a black and white thinking. That's why I don't like the black and white kind of like yes or no. That's why I say, depending on your situation, where you come from, I would say, okay, that could be a case, that could be.
And generally speaking, because most people, I think we know, are bigger not because of disease. It's like their eating habits, right?
Exactly.
So when there's people promoting the idea of fat is beautiful and healthy, and stuff like that, because Lizzo and stuff, she's a big artist.
Yeah.
She pushed in heavy this body positivity thing in terms of like, I'm fat and I'm beautiful, which I think she looks good, but she big as fuck. Lovely music, by the way. That's what I mean. I can't separate it like that's separate. But anyways, but yeah, what do you think about that? So I'm just interested.
Her pushing the body positivity.
Exactly, like she's fat and that's beautiful. The cellulite and the booty and the camera and the lens with the string.
I mean, if you visit, Lizzo, no, I got her. She's from the States, right? Yeah. So at the end, I believe when it comes to those things and promoting it, you should also tell your audience the downsides of using something or being something. And I think if we start going there, it's a different chapter. For example, steroids, the best. You can promote steroids, but you also have to tell your community, listen, those are the downsides. Basically, testicles, your body, your brain. Sorry to interrupt you, but this, I'm heavy on it. I sleep with bodybuilders. Those small balls need to leave. They need to go. I need them full, it just sounds like, it needs to sound like when it hits, but it's not it. You cannot, because it's the most disappointing experience ever, because sometimes they might even have like a very, how do I say it properly? They might have a beautiful equipment, but if there's like the empty sack is what nobody enjoys. And I know maybe women wouldn't tell them and shit like that, but even women, this goes for everybody. Everybody likes this noise while doing it. Nobody likes you know what I mean? That's why don't do steroids, because you might look big, but then you expect something big, and when you have an empty thing, it's just not it. So that's why I'm heavy on not taking the steroids, even though I really like the Goku look. I like the fake ass. It looks very nice. No, that's amazing. You can create being on gear, being enhanced. The muscle mass you can build is crazy. We would not stand a chance on a natural, like competing as a natural bodybuilder. No chance. No chance. You cannot. There are exceptions to the rule, but even then, you cannot get Christopher Seaborn. Forget about it. You would never reach this. Obviously, he has also crazy genetics. Let's also put this there. But also, he works really hard. His mindset is right. He does nutrition, blood work. You have to do all of these things. So if you go for steroids, really, you need doctors. You need medical checkup. You need to really check what are you using. Not take too high, basically injections. Like, don't start super high, because you also have to think about if you want to do this long term. Imagine the amounts you need to take. Heart issues, kidney. I was about to say there's a correlation with the connection to the heart stroke. What is it called? Stroke? Heart stroke.
Yeah, genau.
Heart stroke, exactly.
It's connected, yeah?
So,
because
Yeah. So basically, I just say, if you decide for going for steroids, first, nail the basics. And if you want to go for it, I personally believe you should aim for going for pro. And if that's not the case, it doesn't make sense to jump on gear or take steroids just to be cool, and then at the end you're gonna have a lot of issues, acne, skin problems.
This is another problem. If you break out and your back looks like freaking like the moon or the sun, when it's like all this shit is exploding in every corner, just stop that. It's disgusting. But guys will do everything and go out of there. You know what? How I see those type of guys? They're like Kim Kardashian, and they're the same girls shaming trans girls. Yeah, you take so much estrogen to be a fucking woman. Yeah, you take too much to be a freaking fucking bulldog or with bulldozer or whatever. It's fucked up. It's the same. So people are very hypocritical with these subjects, I feel. So if you hate on this whole idea of Kim Kardashian promoting these type of things and body standards and stuff, the same shit happens with guys with all these with this whole bodybuilding thing. Because I think if most guys are honest, they want to look like ideally, if you could choose it, Sibam or DJ Khaled, you would look like Sibam. Like you would technically choose it.
Yeah.
But technically, can you show maybe the arm for a second, the bicep?
The bicep?
You mind? Yes. Because, yeah, but that's what I mean. But that's all you need, and that's you're natural.
Oh yeah.
And vegan. That's
Yes.
all you need.
Vegan, vegetarian.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
You added eggs.
I
Yeah.
added eggs now since several weeks now.
So, but that's all you need. Like, who needs to be bigger? No woman. That's why also this is a big subject. Also, the bodybuilding. I know there's passion for it.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of in the bodybuilding thing, it's for acceptance from other men. It's very much man for man because unless it's a bodybuilding girl or a very fitness girl, I never heard a girl saying, "Oh, I want a bodybuilder today. I need a guy with a crazy six pack." They're not against it, of course, but it's not like they're striving for it.
Yeah.
Of course, it looks beautiful on Instagram and these
True.
things, but I don't know a single woman who ever said, "I need a guy with a six pack and some crazy arms." Of course, he needs to be athletic and stuff. Of course, and
Yeah.
I think they're more important with height. The girls,
It's
I feel,
height.
no.
It's high, but of course, if you go into this topic, for example, what women like, there's also a study done, and most of the times they just showed basically it's certain body parts they prefer as well. You know, for example, shoulders.
I heard the outer because that creates the
Exactly,
V shape,
you know,
which
so
is the
basically
traditional.
for the guys, the trick is build your lateral, delts. But I say, just don't build your delts and neglect everything else because
Don't train those legs.
if you don't train your legs,
Skip leg day.
it's gonna look pretty bad. It looks like you escaped from a prison where they didn't feed you. So it's
True,
gonna look really
true.
bad. It's not athletic at all. And people and women like booties. Let's be honest. They like
Oh,
booties.
interesting subject because people should say something to this right now, especially because this is a big conversation overall. I think because actually Dwayne has a lovely booty, he attracts a lot of girls who are into it. Because I heard a lot of times they don't give a fuck
What do you mean?
about booties. I heard it a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
You will face, this is what people don't get. People face the things what they are, which means I never met somebody who's like, "Oh, I think you should have hair." The people who think that just don't date me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like similar thing. I'm very pro booty, of course, but I heard from a lot of women they don't need an ass necessarily.
No, but maybe I need to correct what I said. I think it's more the proportions that you have. So it looks symmetrical because we love symmetrics. We love
True.
things that are symmetrical, and that's what I think that is a better word. You don't need to have a big ass booty.
I'm not talking about the BBL. For example, your ass. I'm sure. I think it looks lovely. I'm not. It's fine. But there's a lot of women who would say that's to provoke it, like it's an ass, and I think it's amazing. I think your girlfriend enjoys it. I know when I did them girls, they enjoyed my ass as well. Now the guys, they enjoy it even better and even big. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of people. There's some guys. They're sometimes trained, and it's like amazing body, but the ass is so small. It looks so ugly when bodybuilders with such a small glute.
Yeah.
It looks so ugly.
Yeah.
It looks fucking ugly. I'm so
Aesthetics.
sorry. Yeah.
That's what I say. That's why I think that's perfect that you also mentioned it, that I could correct it.
Mhm.
I think it's more the proportions, that it looks proportionate. You don't want to have something super extreme and something super small. Just have it a little bit proportionate. We don't like this. Like this looks aesthetic.
True.
Like this looks aesthetic. The glass. But imagine this would be super big and this would be super small. It would look kind of weird. And also, I think we humans are used to it. And also, if you could, I think you could see. I'm not 100% sure if I know it all, but it was done with babies. So they just was paying attention to babies' behavior and which faces they like more. And they really looked at people that had more symmetrical faces. And I realized this as well. Every time I see babies, they always look in my face and they really follow me. And I always somehow build a connection with babies. They look at me, they start smiling. And I always was asking, babies just like me. But then I was like, okay, then I was reading the study and it said also when something is symmetrical, babies like to look at this.
So you're saying you're the shit, you're the Giga Chad of the world, and you have the most symmetrical face. But no. But I see that, of course, symmetrical. It's a very known thing. I think as well, though, is with the baby example that you have a nice energy about you because, but I think, I said it before. Yeah, you have a nice energy about, and I think especially kids who can't talk, read also vibes because, but of course, maybe they might see also of course, they see things. With me, they start crying. No, actually, kids also like me, I feel they like me. But I don't know. But I wouldn't say I have a crazy symmetrical face.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
I need to see, you know what? I need to look at you in the mirror after. Because sometimes in the mirror, you see the little, when you see somebody else in the mirror, you see that it's a little.
Asymmetrical stuff.
Yeah, you see it a little bit.
I know what you mean, yeah. Okay. No, those are like actually some funny and cool topics. Okay, now I have one. This is, if you could go back in time, is there anything you would do differently?
Oh, I wouldn't lick pussy. I would just suck some D, actually. Yeah, because I did it, and it's good that I did it because there's still appreciation for the female body, but not in that sense. I really love women, but not like that. But at the same time, I have a lovely relationship, a lovely connection till this day with my ex-girlfriend. So we're cool, we're friends. So at the same time, I wouldn't change it because I think these experiences, this life I've lived, the double life, it makes me very open now to talk about subjects which a lot of men wouldn't talk about. So I really like that I can be very unfiltered with this kind of shit because I feel I went from the closeted gay guy to it's literally from black to white, and people, so everything within the spectrum, there's a lot of guys who like the lady boys, who like to, go for some trans girls and stuff, and like all these subjects I feel are in between. All these type of men actually, because then I would say closeted gay guy, and then there's like femme gay, and then trans is like that would be the most societal pressure would be on, I guess, a trans woman, even a guy who decides to be a woman, not a biological woman, present as a woman. Okay, people are fucked up, because I have comments in my brain already about these subjects. But
I get it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you met one in Bangkok, right? Or Thailand?
No, multiple. I know so much about this ladyboy subject, and I really like the way they treat it in Thailand. And there's one I also like. I don't see everything of her. Blair White. She also followed me. She's like a trans activist from America. She talks with like Joe Rogan and shit like that. She's like, she a G. Can I say it? Yeah. She that bitch. But anyways, and I really like the things I've seen so far because I know a lot of people hate her, but I like the thing I've seen is nice. She's lovely. She says shit which makes sense, because now you can. She talks a lot about the whole trans movement, that it got out of its way a little bit, and then there's now the trans umbrella, which a lot of people are, like the non-binary people who are nothing, like not a man, not female, all these things. Which I think is a very complicated, too deep subject for today. It's deep because I should talk with some trans girl again. It's like, because they have the most amazing points of view about it. Yeah. Especially, I cannot say, but it's too much. That will be posted one day. Even, it's even not about this going viral right now, but at one point, what I was about to say, I would have been out.
No, let's get it there, you don't have to always.
Fine. So I don't even know how it ended with trans. I don't know.
I mean, we got into this whole conversation about, where were we stuck? What was the question? I also got lost a bit. Yeah, but we got.
I always end up with dicks or trans. I think something with what I regret, what I would have done differently. Yeah. Besides that, maybe. Now thinking about it, I should see myself more as the singer I am, because sometimes in my brain, I think I'm not good enough of a singer, but then I see people singing, I'm like, even as a kid, I would see people singing on TV, I'm like, she shit, he shit. Yeah, like that a little bit, very actually judgmental as fuck as a little kid, I don't know what's wrong with me. But maybe that's why I'm hard on myself. That's why I'm like a little, I don't put myself as that sinker, you know? So bottom G, by the way, is also some form of protection for this whole stuff. Because when I do my live performances, I don't give a fuck if I sing off key because bottom G. It's like, you know, it's like a fun thing. So I would have, it's fine. The way it was, I don't know, I would choose some rich parents actually. I want to be some spoiled ass white boy because in Europe, I'm born in Europe. In Europe, I would love to be born as a rich white boy. No problems. A little pussy, you know, they complain. They complain about the most little things. It's a big deal to them. I would want to be that guy. Because by now I'm like walking around with like, I see you 2 times right now. Like there's somebody else talking, you know, like I have hallucinations by now from all these LA drug shit. And I'm like, let me be a white boy, a rich white boy, and spend daddy's money.
But don't you think it would also change the person that you are today?
Of course, yeah. I would not be this. People wouldn't know me, but I would be on a yacht on the Maldives with daddy money and spend it. And I know, probably in real life, it's horrible. But I remember, I feel, you know what I realized? Sorry, I'm sniffing too much. Like addicted.
What is that again?
Those are herbs,
Right?
Thai herbs. And this, I do it. Bodybuilders do it, weightlifting guys do it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Actually, I'm gonna sell those, I think. But shit, what did I say?
Would you, really want that life?
I guess no. I guess at the end, I think even when with bodies, most people, even though they're fat, even though they're a little bit too skinny, some guys, they want their body to be big, you know? Even when I see, I don't know, your body's lovely. I would love to I don't want to have I want my body with that same muscle, you know what I mean? You kind of always want to, you want to keep your body. So, and I think there's some deep, when it comes down to this shit, you want your own, body. Like it's connected to self-worth, I feel sometimes, you know? It's like, you don't want to change it. So, I wouldn't want that life when I had it. The idea right now is fun because it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Spending that, I have a black father. Of course, he wasn't there in my case. It's so incredible. Fuck, I know.
Yeah.
How was it in your case again? I don't have it on my radar.
Yeah, my mom basically met my dad when he was
White mom? No.
Yes.
Hi, white mother.
Yeah, white mom, black dad, and they met basically in Augsburg. So I'm from Bavaria. And that's where they met. Then I came, but it wasn't really, in the plans, I would say.
You weren't planned?
No, I wasn't planned. And then, I was there though. And obviously my mom till this day is super happy, and we have a great relationship. And, obviously, of course it's hard, it was difficult, but I was really, really lucky because my mom met today, I call him also my dad. He knows me since I'm 6 months old, so he's like my father, and he basically replaced the father role because my dad had to take off because I think that wasn't in the plans. I have no idea, but basically the military base he was located, they took off and had to go back to the States. So he had to leave. And obviously you cannot just tell your employee, okay, I'm staying here. Well, if you're in the military, you kind of belong to the military.
True, you're like property. Would have been English? Was it possible for your mother to leave Germany? Because in your case, it's not the black father who ran away. It's not like that.
No. I mean, that was really, he was, in the military, and if your employer says you do this, then you have to do this. So he had to leave, and I think also for my mom going to the States and not being an American citizen, they were not married. So I think there would be a lot of issues. I have the American citizenship because my dad is American, also served the military. But I think also life in America is different. I mean, you experienced LA, Los Angeles, Miami. You saw a bit of the States and also, how you grow up there. And I think there are two total different worlds, from super rich to like crazy poor. And depending on also the neighborhood. You remember in LA, it was crazy in some neighborhoods where you say like, it's wild. You didn't feel that comfortable in.
Oh shit! They started fireworks in front of my Airbnb.
You thought it was shots or something like that.
What?
Didn't you think it was like some shots? Like
Yeah, it's
shooting?
crazy. Yeah. The moment some loud shit happens in America, it's like somebody's shooting around. It's crazy that the weapons. Then it's. But anyways, it's a big subject. No, I was just wondering with the father because I think, but it's some. I feel that there's like a line. No matter what, black fathers are somehow. There's memes. Did I send it to you? That one meme.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, why? But it's so lovely. So the man your mother, it's just interesting for me right now because I don't know. The man your mother went after your father, is it okay to ask for the race? I'm just curious.
He's also Afro-American.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. So he could, do you think he replaced your father properly?
Yeah, definitely. I have to say that also kept me grounded, having a masculine role in me growing up, because you always can tell, and this doesn't, this is not a cup you can put everyone in, but you can tell even with women or with guys, boys that are grown up without a father role, sometimes there are boundaries they cannot set, and this can be, for example, they cannot set boundaries for themselves. They cannot like say, hey, if you do this again, this will be the consequences, without punching someone. But the consequences will be that you say, listen, if you do this, if you cross this line, we are done, or we're gonna have a serious conversation. And I think this basically gives you the masculine role of also setting boundaries properly. I'm not saying that women cannot set boundaries, but there are two different roles, and I believe that the feminine role and the masculine role, they both have different areas that they cover. And I was super lucky that my mom found someone, and his name was Anthony. And yeah, he basically was there. I grew up with a male role model, and I'm grateful to this day because he also treated my mom well. He never was like abusive or anything like this, so he always took care of her. He always was there for me. We spent Christmas together. So these kind of things are really important, and I think it also shapes you as a child.
Oh, damn.
And it builds character as well, because, for example, the difference. For example, when your mom says something, then you're like, yeah, okay, but when she says, okay, I'm gonna call dad, you was like, oh no, hold up, man, like, wait, relax, I'm gonna do it now.
I'm gonna do what you say.
And this is just something, when I think about it, back in the day, it was like that somehow. When my mom said something, and she said, okay, I'm gonna call dad, and he was like, oh, no, that's chill.
Yeah, it's like a higher authority.
Yeah.
It's like a little, I'm gonna call it a school director.
Yeah,
like,
kind of. And he was
like
let's not get into this, problem issue, because, it's probably gonna be hard, so let's, skip that part and let's just do as said, So I think it has effects. And again, I also need to clarify, because there probably will be loads of people saying, so you're saying women's word is not worthy or has the same value. It's not what I say, but if you just think about it, especially the millennials, if you think about it back, well, if your mom said something and your dad said something, it was a different tone. Even dogs react differently to female voices and male voices.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So
it's crazy. That's why, like, I'm hard on I never spoke about it, but I'm very hard on the idea of pushing the family, like in terms of like mother, father is the ideal situation. Of course, somebody can die. Some relationships don't work out. I know a lot of people are against gay adoption, all this shit, but I'm even there for pro at least too. Yes, an ideal. I think ideal is man and woman actually, but there's so many fucked up people getting kids, single mother and this stuff. And I'm not saying that every single mother is fucked up. There's a lot of G's and independent bad bitches out there, and I love them. I connect with them. It's like insane because I was raised by one, by independent, not bad bitch, but. No, but I see more and more that it's important to have some father in the house. It's crazy. It's there for a reason. The idea of two entities, because also like just one person. I think even a single dad is also not ideal at all. It's
difficult.
It's very rare. It's less often happens, but I think in America, did you see that 80% of kids getting born are like single mother kids?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, then you know what I say then. Because we talked about responsibility before, those women need to look out for red flags in those type of guys. They make baby daddies. They apparently do the decision. Oh shit! I'm scared. The decision seems too emotional. Yeah, I like him right now, but yeah, he lies here and there, blah blah blah. But he's gonna, for example, I talked with my mother about it because that's why I'm pushing this because I dealt with my mother about this. She knows what comes. The man choice was horrible. Why you take a broke? Yes, he's a good singer. That's why I can sing and dance today and do this shit. But why would you take a broke artist and make two, but the second pregnancy were twins? Like make 3 kids with him. It's crazy. You know, it's actually crazy. So I think it's not the best decision making because I believe her body, her choice. That's why I'm saying this because I'm pro-choice. But because I'm pro-choice, it's your body, your choice. Make the choice, right? Like take some proper man as a baby daddy. Oh, not I don't even like that term. A father. You know, make a nice man a father, not some random man. And I feel sometimes women, I don't know what happens.
I have a question for this.
Yeah, tell me.
I would say us being born in the 90s, this generation,
I'm born.
we have a bigger privilege. I would say it's not an excuse, but I would say we had more time to think about these things than back in the day, like our parents. I think our parents came from a generation, their parents, it was like, I feel sad. Fuck if you feel sad. I don't care. We need to work. We need to, survive. We need to, unless you come from a wealthy family, then you can tell, sometimes there are like some people that come from healthy families. I have one homie, even 2 homies, they come from like a healthy home and you can tell, you can tell.
I can tell in you that there was some father. Yeah. I see the difference. I feel it. But the thing is, there's another guy I connect with, like, I don't want to say the name, but, he's like, he has no father, and you can tell he's a little crazy. They're a little crazy. Yeah. So I'm a little crazy. And it's a good thing, and it's good that it works kind of with the artist thing, but if I would have been some random, it's not good.
Yeah, because that's what I always try to look back, because obviously, okay, maybe the decision making was not that properly, but also I asked myself, who was their role model? And depending on where your parents came from, if they came from an orphanage, if they grew up only with the father, or only with the mother, how was this mother, how was they developed? And this picture, this meme where you basically pass on trauma, where you can stop it. I think that is also something that you have to choose. You have to make that decision conscious. Like there needs to be a conscious decision you have to take and make and live to not pass it on, to not be, abusive, aggressive, or if you have issues, grab for drugs, alcohol, some kind of, just basically splitting your spirit from your body, and your soul. It's not connected anymore. There's no more connection. You're not connected to, like a higher belief or God or whatever. Nothing that gives you an opportunity to, like be grounded and see, okay, how is this happening? Well, why is this happening? Do I feel triggered right now? If someone says XYZ, why do I feel anger? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel, this way? And this is something I think we had way more time because look, today now we're sitting, 2 of this generation, 90 babies, sitting here and having this conversation and thinking about this, and we are aware of those things. Obviously, there are a lot of people in our generation that are totally unaware of this.
I talked about recent studies in America, 80%. So even though with all that social media knowledge out there, there's 80% of apparently black kids in America are born as single, in a single mother household, which with all that knowledge out there today would be delayed, but you know what I mean? Would prove that there's still crazy decision making. So you kind of, I know what you mean. You said you don't want to mention it as an excuse, but I don't know. It's just like, yeah, of course, and also all the quotes we have you know, we have access to. Like, even now when you see 10-year-olds and they're like, yeah, I need to be the best version of myself and stuff. By the way, this is a whole different conversation. These quotes, people, and especially young boys, I see all the time on social media, they're influenced by Andrew. Shut the fuck up. There's one guy going viral. I work at the gas station. Escape the gas station first before you talk this shit. After this, when I think about this terminology, hustler and shit like that, technically, I'm a hustler. I would never call myself a hustler. This is fucked up. I'm a hustler. I'm such an alpha. What the fuck is wrong with you? You just are these things. Michael Jackson didn't call himself like I'm a legend. We make him a legend. You know what I mean? And that's what I think. With every term you are, you're like. I know people. I'm such a dominant person. Why would you say like that? You're obviously not.
Just be it.
And this is what I see. People who actually are these things, they don't talk too much about it. No. And this is what I realized. I realized it because I was crazy with 3 years ago, memory, crazy. Every sentence, I would drop some random, yeah, you know, it's something that's how it is in life. You know, like, and I would drop some quote, but then I realized with the years, oh shit, they stop because they're internalized and I don't need to like say it like a vocabulary anymore because it's internalized. What's the question?
How did you take time overdosed all the time with social media every day, every single minute? You know?
To answer that question, very technical to answer, but yeah, I also try to force myself not to wake up and look at my phone.
Yeah.
I put the worst I do is like I'm doing this because I need it and meditate at least once a day. Because I think content in this swiping is crazy. I think as hard as you swipe, as hard you need to meditate again. Yeah. Because people go crazy with all this overload information, entertainment industry distracting you with. So I think it's important to take time off. But I also struggle with, especially me, I sometimes struggle with researching because I can, as an influencer, can research a lot on social media, which is just sending you funny videos. Yeah. Research. At the end, it's just doing shit and trying out new stuff when it comes to.
One final question, which I want to have each episode is, what is a question you would ask the next guest? Maybe anything you can think about.
He would ask the next guest. I'm joking. This other question. I'm joking. It's bullshit. I would ask what's his or her question. What's his or her contribution to society where this person feels that's my purpose. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
So you mean what are they contributing to society?
Yeah, you will ask them that question then.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah. So
yeah, what's their contribution to society?
So basically, what? Yeah.
I like it because it's like some people. For example, I'm aware that all this shit I'm talking about is in the men's rights category. It's all like men's rights and the life and the different take on masculinity, which can help open up some people, literally or just spiritually and in their mind. So I think it's a contribution. What I can do with also my artistry and all that shit, I think it's a contribution, a positive one. What's yours? You think?
My question, it's only the guest that always passes on the question.
But if I would ask you that question just as a joke, if I don't know if you cut it in.
I would say, what is something you have been neglecting and know that you should be doing?
They have to answer that question then, or is it just a question?
I will present them the question and I say the last guest, which was you, has this question for you, and that's what I will start with.
I like it.
And then I will continue with the questions that I have set up for them, or that's how I will continue them. And then every guest will leave a question for the next one.